Hi there, welcome along to this edition of the Manx Radio Newscast. I'm Lewis Foster, and earlier this week I was invited down to Motiv8 Addiction Services to speak with some of the newly qualified peer mentors who've launched a new initiative called Takeover Tuesdays. The peer mentors take the helm of these group sessions, which are designed to provide a safe and supportive space for anyone struggling with dependency. What makes these sessions particularly special, Motiv8 says, is that each of the peer mentors has been on their own journey of recovery and so bring with them a wealth of personal experience and deep understanding of the challenges people are facing. I sat down with Brian Gilmour, Jimmy Thistle and Paul Whipp about their own journeys and what led them to becoming peer mentors.
Yeah, probably about the last 12 years on and off, being in and out of hospital that many times for detoxes, maybe 15, 20, I've lost count. Prison 3 times, all stupid drink stuff, mainly to get off alcohol. And then 3 years, 8 months ago, I just thought, this is it, I've just had enough. So I've been coming, here all the time in that period, and learned so much doing the peer mentoring we were doing it every week. There was loads of stuff I didn't know about. We learned loads on different topics, drugs, everything, safeguarding, just everything that needs to be put in place. And the book's like a war and peace, it's like, but it's been really good, and they're just a great bunch and a great staff here, and everyone's just so friendly. And I've tried to get so many friends who were struggling to come here, and it's making that first step. If they make that first step and they get in, it's so much easier, but it's that first step which is the challenge, and it's it's getting that out there to people. But it's saved my life, as I said.
So tell us as well, in your words, why did you get involved in the peer mentor program, and when did you start coming to Motiv8?
So when I come back from Liverpool in the August 2023, I think it was, I was approached by someone I seen when I was out working, and they said to me it'd be a good idea if you go and share your story to give other people encouragement and inspiring other people to do what you've done. So I come, and then I've done a couple of meetings with Louise at Smart, and then I'm now training to do the Smart course. But then when I got invited to do the group thing, I thought it was really good, because obviously the programme that I was on in Liverpool was all run by people on their own recovery journeys as well. So the 6 of us have a really good
report.
A really good I can't think of the word.
Sorry.
Connection, yeah. And I think we've brought that same connection into these groups now, and I think obviously because we've gelled so much, it kind of it just gives us the kickstart for other people joining, and it just works really well because we feel so comfortable with each other. I think the peer mentors that are coming now can see that.
Jimmy, tell us a bit about Takeover Tuesdays, the idea behind it, and this is just finished the second session so far. How have they been going?
Yeah, so the Takeover Tuesday is we had like 4 in the first time, 4 peer mentors in. Today we had 4 as well, and it was just trying to get Motiv8 to have a group meeting every single week, every single day of the week. So the Tuesday one is quite slow to begin with not as many people, but it's us telling our stories, being from lived experience through addiction, and dependency. So it's trying to then open up for the room to kind of explain what their problems are and issues are, and see if they can learn from us. So we're trying to get them to ask questions and really kind of delve into what our history's been like. So obviously we're all sober and clean with many years behind us. So we hopefully can use that peer kind of experience to then help them get further along in their journey as well. So yeah, it's been quite successful so far, but we hope it's just going to grow and grow.
Obviously, it's very difficult to open up, but once you tell your own stories, even in these early sessions, have you seen people from walking through the door to leaving after the sessions really come out of their shell a bit?
I would say so. I mean, obviously no names, but this morning there was one particular service user in, and they'd had quite a bad morning, didn't want to come to the meeting, but then thought, "Do you know what, I'm actually going to come," and hopefully they were feeling much better about, not spending the day in bed, but actually came up, used the group meeting, learned from us, and was just able to kind of talk about what was going through their head. And I think that's the kind of main point, is getting it out of your head and not sitting with it over the time.
I remember coming to a SMART meeting a couple of years ago, and one of the things they said was it's so important to have a place where people can speak without fear of judgment. Is that what you hope to provide here?
Yeah, that's totally how it is. I do the SMART groups on a Monday. I've got me facilitator for SMART, and you just notice, I've been coming to them, as I say, for probably 10, 11 years, on and off, and you just notice with people the change in them, and they don't realise it. You can sometimes notice it within a week, or then within weeks they're so nervous, and then after a few months they're like totally different people. A friend of mine who comes to SMART meetings, he's just like changed so much from when he was I met him through SMART, but he's now like a really good friend. Mm-hmm. But he's always says I've been like so supportive to him, but I'm thinking, no, you've done it. It's not me. Yeah. You're just trying to do what I've done. But he's like, there's that many who've done or are doing so well, and it's, as I say, it's keeping that structure. And hopefully for these Tuesdays we can get a few more in, because I'd say they're more so people who was a bit afraid of coming to a SMART group. With them being with us here, who've all been through the addictions, whether it be drink, drugs, whatever, they might feel more comfortable. So I think promoting it a bit more is a great idea, definite.
How long personally did it take you when you first came to Motiv8 to notice a change in yourself and your outlook on life, really?
Well, I was first asked by my doctor to come here when I was early 30s, I'd say, early mid-30s. And I came a couple of times, just one-to-ones, and I started coming to the groups in the old building. And I was attending that as well, and I got a place in rehab away, but unfortunately rehab didn't work for me. I ended up leaving, and it was a bit of a disaster for me. It didn't work, but it works for a lot of people, but it just wasn't for me at that time. And then over the years I've had blips. I've had a year clean and sober, then I've had another blip, then I've on and off blip, and then I come back to the structure, and then this time, for the last 3.5+ years, it's been just wanting to, as I say, give something back. And hopefully these Tuesdays we can get some more people who are vulnerable and, scared of going to see someone. I get a lot of people speaking to me because they know I don't drink, and they're like, oh, I need to do that, I need to go to one. And I'm like, well, come to one then. And they say it, but it's doing it, it's really, it's making that first step, as I said before, So hopefully if these Tuesdays, as I say, the advertisement of it a bit more, I think it benefits so many people. Yeah. Like, to hear our stories, it's like they are horrific, some of them, yeah.
No, but I can hear what you're saying. It's absolute open honesty, isn't it? You're saying, everyone goes through blips and relapses occasionally as well. So people can come in any kind of stage of their life and their recovery, can't they, I suppose?
Yeah, I think as well, it's the first part of obviously reaching out is the hardest part. It was for my own recovery. It's letting, obviously, you've got to let everyone know that you're suffering. And then I think once you come into somewhere like Motiv8, the staff here are absolutely amazing, from the top to the bottom. The place has just been recently renovated as well. It's a safe place where people can come and get vulnerable and share experiences. And I think with these peer mentors as well, although we're all very similar, I think each of our stories is very different. So we can reach different people, I suppose.
How important is that to be able to connect through your own lived experience?
For me, I wouldn't, and I suppose I was maybe quite obnoxious in my early kind of subsequent, before I got sober and then early recovery. I didn't want to listen to anyone that hadn't got lived experience, so it was always a kind of peer mentor kind of journey for me, just because I'm not saying these people don't know what they're dealing with, but for me it was like, if you've not been there, then you don't really get the full picture. So I think with us all having that experience, then it's definitely going to hit home with people. And I think at that point, when you are vulnerable and you're still a bit scared to listen to people and be in the room with people, to have someone that's been there before you and be able to say, no, you're okay, you're not alone, we've been there, that is, paramount for kind of the early days of recovery.
So just tell us, logistics-wise, Takeover Tuesday, when these take place, where people can find more information, and do they need to say anything before coming on down?
They can get in touch with Motiv8, find out when it's on. Obviously, it's on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We had a little article in Jeff last week, and obviously with you guys. So, yeah, it's on from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock on a Tuesday at Motiv8's kind of headquarters here. So, yeah, it's free. You just have to turn up and walk in the doors, and then you don't have to talk, but obviously, the more weeks that you come, like for me at the beginning, I never spoke in meetings, but then after a while you couldn't shut me up. So yeah, it's a case of just come along and, listen and see if you can gain anything from it. Which I'm sure they will.
What does it feel like now when you do speak and you do find connection with somebody in that group who you might not necessarily have imagined you'd have found a connection with before? Do you feel a weight off your shoulders when you speak out? Come to you, Brian.
Yeah, it's strange at times, because you do seem to have a connection with certain people when they come. It may be a different type of connection, but a lot of them, because they relate to a lot of things you've said, and then they, as Jimmy said there before, when they open up, when they first come, they might not speak, but that's it. You don't have to say anything. And it's all confidential. We read the minutes out beforehand. You can't go out and tell anyone else outside anything, and everything's strictly confidential. So,
great stuff. Perfectly. Can I just ask you finally, why should somebody come along to a Tuesday session?
I think if you've got nothing to lose, really, you've got everything to gain, I suppose. And it's great as well meeting different people, and obviously the connection is there. And yeah, it gives the people the motivation and it's inspiring. And also as well, you find things that you'd never known. So you've got, that's
from my early days, when I used to come out of meetings, I was buzzing, but it wasn't, from the wrong type of buzz. So I think people going to meetings, it gets them out and it gets them to be with like-minded people and people that are going sharing the same struggles as them. So they're not alone.
And a word for the staff here at Motiv8 who've helped you along the road with the peer mentorship as well. What do you have to say?
Thank you. Yeah, obviously these guys have been great from the beginning of my recovery till now, and obviously the training that we had and just the insight into learning how to be peer mentors is just, it's unbelievable. So yeah, thanks to them.
No, just like to say, we're all happy in good places, I think, and everything it's gone well for us, and we just want to help other people and try and get them to get better. But the staff are amazing, they really are.
Also, I've never met a person that's got sober and clean and regretted it. So if that is you, that you're struggling, then get down to one of our meetings on a Tuesday, and the rest of your life will open up for you.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio Newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.